ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नमस्कार my dear friends, this is video number 4 on Kena Upanishad. This video starts with verse 5 of chapter 2. If a man knows Atma here, he then attains the true goal of life. If he does not know it here, a great destruction awaits him. Having realized the self in every being, the wise relinquish the world and become immortal. True goal of life, that is to say, the highest good or immortality. The text may also refer to longevity, worldly prosperity, and righteousness. The knower of Brahma can obtain all these cherished objects of life, but he always prefers freedom to any worldly possession. If he does not, etc., that is to say, in spite of all the facilities given to him for realizing truth. Great destruction. A man dying in ignorance of the self is condemned to roam in the world through an interminable chain of births and deaths. Nothing can be more pitiable than to be deprived of one's spiritual heritage on account of sloth or inadvertence. In every being, living and non-living, Brahma is immanent in all. It alone exists. Names and forms are falsely superimposed upon it through avidya, relinquish, etc. The word characterized by the false notions of I and mine is projected by the power of ignorance. He who knows Brahma becomes Brahma. The realization of oneness with Brahma is the teaching of the Upanishad. Here ends the second chapter of the Kena Upanishad. Chapter number 3. Brahma, according to the story, obtained a victory for the gods, and by that victory of Brahma, the gods became elated. They said to themselves, "Verily, this victory is ours. Verily, this glory is ours." Brahma, he is the sole controller of the universe in every way, unknowable by the mind, the giver of victory to the gods and the vanquisher of the demons. The Upanishads often introduce a story to explain their abstruse subject matter. Sometimes the purpose of the story is to eulogize the knowledge which the Upanishads wish to impart. In this instance, the story shows that the gods of fire and air attained preeminence among the deities on account of their understanding of Brahma, and for the same reason Indra became king of all the gods. Or the story may show how extremely hard it is to know Brahma. The gods of fire and air and Indra, the king of the lower heavens, all endowed with supernatural powers, knew Brahma only with the utmost difficulty. Or the story may serve still another purpose, namely to show that man's notion that he is the doer is entirely false. The truth being that he is the instrument and Brahma the doer, obtained, etc. In ancient times, according to the story, there was a fight between the gods and the demons, the latter being enemies of mankind and transgressors of righteousness. It was Brahma who won the victory for the gods. He gave them the fruit of victory for the preservation of the world. By that victory, etc., the gods, because of their ignorance, did not know that all power and glory belong to Brahma, the Supreme Lord, the omniscient and omnipresent Spirit, who dwells in all hearts as the inmost self. He is the doer and the dispenser of the fruit of action. He uses the senses, the mind, and the ego of embodied beings as instruments. Ours, fire, wind, and the other gods are in reality manifestations of Brahma in the relative universe, conditioned by names and forms. These embodied beings, powerless by themselves, are instruments of the Supreme Spirit. In their ignorance, they forgot their inmost self, that is to say, Brahma, and regarded the combination of the body, the senses, and the ego, endowed with a name and a form, as the ultimate victor. Brahma, the omniscient spirit and the witness, at once came to know of the false notion of the gods. He did not want them to remain deluded like the demons. Verse number 2. Brahma, to be sure, understood it all and appeared before them, but they did not know who that adorable spirit was. Understood, etc. Brahma is the controller of the mind and the director of the sense organs. It all, that is to say, the false notion of the gods, appeared, etc., assuming by his inscrutable will and yoga power an individualized form of all surpassing greatness, capable of being perceived by the sense organs, a form of the personal God. The gods were frightened to see this wondrous form and wanted to know who it was. Stanza number 3 to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. They said to Agni, fire, O Agni, find out who this great spirit is. Yes, he said, and hastened to it. Brahma asked him, who are you? He replied, I am known as Agni. I am also called Jataveda. Jataveda. Brahma said, what power is in you, who are so well known? Fire replied, I can burn all, whatever there is on earth. Brahma put a straw before him and said, burn this. He rushed towards it with all his ardor but could not burn it. Then he returned from the spirit and said to the gods, I could not find out who this spirit is. Agni, the two principal epithets by which fire was known among the Vedic seers were Agni and Jataveda. He was called Agni because, according to the root meaning of the word, he was the first among the gods to obtain the offering at sacrifices. He was called Jataveda because of his being nearly omniscient, which is one of the etymological meaning of the word. I am known, etc. Fire mentioned the two epithets in order to show his importance among the gods. Burn all, etc. All the animate and inanimate objects on earth and in the interspace. Stanza number 7 to 10. Then they said to Vayu, air, O Vayu, find out who this great spirit is. Yes, he said, and hastened to it. Brahma asked him, who are you? He replied, I am known as Vayu. I am also called Matriswa. Matrishwa. Brahma said, what power is in you who are so well known? Vayu replied, I can carry off all whatever there is on earth. Brahma put a straw before him and said, carry this. He rushed towards it with all his ardor but could not move it. Then he returned from the spirit and said to the gods, I could not find out who this spirit is. Vayu. The two principal epithets of the god of air in the Vedas are Vayu and Matariswa. The former is derived from a root meaning to go or to carry smell. The etymological meaning of the second epithet is to travel in space. Stanza number 11 and 12. Then the gods said to Indra, O Maghavan, find out who this great spirit is. Yes, he said and hastened to it. But the spirit disappeared from him. Then Indra beheld in that very region of the sky a woman highly adorned. She was Uma, the daughter of the Himalayas. He approached her and said, Who is this great spirit? Maghavan, Indra, the king of the gods, was so called because of his great power. Disappeared. The spirit did not even exchange a word with Indra. It wanted to crush completely his pride in being the king of the gods. In that very region, that is to say, in the very spot where the spirit had vanished, Indra did not return to his compeers but remained there absorbed in meditation in order to know the true nature of the spirit woman. The word refers to the knowledge of Brahma, Brahma Vidya, or the power Shakti of Brahma personified as a woman, Uma, also known as Durga, the daughter of King Himalaya, as knowledge is the inseparable consort of Shiva or the Absolute. They always coexist like a word and its meaning or fire and its power of burning. Brahma as Shiva is quiescent and beyond the perception of the senses and the mind, but as Uma or Shakti, it is the active principle in creation and is immanent in the universe. One finds that in Vedic symbolism, the power of a god is represented by his consort. For example, the power of Indra is Indrani, the power of Brahma is Brahmani. Here ends the third chapter and of the Kena Upanishad. So I conclude this video here. Next video number 5 will start with chapter number 4 of Kena Upanishad. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar my dear friends.